103.7 ticketfm.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Just got the brakes fixed on my car today.
You did? You haven't even left the office.
I didn't need to. I got a guy who picks up my car and drops it off when it's done.
Well, who's your guy?
Graham Tire. They have pickup and delivery service at all 5 of their Lincoln locations.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
Change begins with you. Join a weight loss medication study at Solarion and earn cash in the process. If you are 19 to 65 years old with excess weight to lose, you may qualify. Participants could earn up to $22,750 for their time. Study includes 1 2-night stay, 1 3-night stay, and 38 returns. Learn more at helpresearch.com/flamingo or call 866-213-2965. Weight loss not guaranteed.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in December, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book your holiday parties at Double Eagle Golf and make plans to join them for a New Year's Eve party. Gift cards make a great stocking stuffer for Christmas, and don't forget to look ahead to 2026 as spring leagues begin in February. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Welcome to Outside the Box on 93.7 The Ticket. Lace up your skates and join Lincoln Stars head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Ferd as they introduce you to special player guests and give you the latest news and results from across the USHL. Here are your hosts, Rocky Russo and Alex Ferd.
Another rendition of Outside the Box on 93.7 The Ticket and the ticketfm.com. Feel free to chime in throughout the show, 402-464-5685. Alexander Fern is always happy to be joined by the head coach of the Lincoln Stars, Rocky Russo. 3-game weekend for the Stars last week and this week. We're all on the road this week, 2 in Fargo, 1 in Sioux Falls. Of course, Sioux Falls being a makeup game from earlier this year. Last week against the Tri-City Storm, the Stars got 2 points in 3 games. Rocky, how are we doing today?
Doing great, Alex. How are you?
I'm all right. My body is so well adjusted to weather at points. So when it's cloudy and rainy, it makes me really sleepy. But thankfully it's Outside the Box powered by the mill right now. So
I went and got myself the double espresso before we started. It is a bit of a dreary day, but we weren't supposed to have this rain. We were supposed to just have a cloudy day. We weren't supposed to have the rain. I had to go grab my daughter before school ended, and I had to get the umbrella to get her out of there. But that's all right. I'll take a little bit of rain and 46 degrees rather than what we're going to see on Saturday in Fargo, which is minus degrees and some snow. So I don't think we should complain too much.
Tomorrow's supposed to be 33 and sunny here in case anybody cares about that.
I got the rest of the Christmas lights down today before the rain started. Okay. So the house is officially back to pre-Christmas, and my wife will start hanging Valentine's decorations in the house any day now.
That's funny. I just moved into my apartment, like officially fully on Sunday, so we're all good for that. And then I'm among the belief that it's easier for me to let my girlfriend unpack and just live with how it is than me to unpack and not figure out where everything's going to be.
There's a fine line there, man.
Yeah.
You go too far and things aren't going to work out for you. I might volunteer. I'm a little older than you. I could be your father. But I would maybe say, hey, can I help? Can I put something? Tell me where they go.
Okay, in my defense, I got to put up all of like my sports memorabilia in the living room.
That doesn't count, man. It doesn't count.
I got like a TV
the
stand,
dishes and the silverware and
the roller dog grill.
Well, that is the most important thing. We got to take care of.
I got for Christmas. I got a roller hot dog grill from my uncle. So there have been jousts in my name put in a group chat between myself, Rocky, Art, and Ross, our coaches, and then Corey Courtney, our equipment manager.
I think we should bring the roller dogger on the bus on.
Do
Thursday.
We have a spot for it on Thursday?
I don't know. I will makeshift something.
Okay. Well,
the bus, you'll be eating some hot dogs if we give him the chance.
Okay. We'll talk about it tomorrow to make sure, and then we'll figure it out from there. Let's talk a little bit about Stars hockey coming into this weekend. Right now, fourth place in a very tight-knit Western Conference with Fargo, Sioux Falls being the top two, then Sioux City, us, Tri-City right along there as well. So far, it's been in a very parity-built Western Conference so far this season. It was kind of hard at the beginning of the season to kind of thumb who the number one teams were going to be. Of course, not necessarily the Stars being in a rebuild scenario after the Anderson Cup championship last year, but you lose some guys, you get some guys back as well. A guy like Alex Pelletier, who reached his 30th goal mark already this season on with that game on Saturday. He's the first Stars player since Tanner Ludke in the 2021-22 season to reach 30 goals, and
Tanner only had 37 that year.
Yeah, and that was in 57 games that he played that season as well. But Rocky, what is your overall assessment on this team as we head into this 3-game set in Fargo and Sioux Falls?
You know what? After you look at the weekend, and I was talking to Mr. Fernandez, and he said, hey, I know you're frustrated. Obviously, we're not getting the results we wanted that weekend, but you're a couple bounces away from winning all 3 games. And I acknowledged he was 100% right. And then I followed it up and said, you know what? The hard part for me to swallow is we're not making some of our own bounces. And he agreed with that too, and so there's some details in certain situations that were lacking. We give a goal up with 6 seconds left on Friday night. That one really hurts.
Yes.
And it was a breakdown where we should just be able to control that situation. And the guys know how to manage that. And unfortunately we didn't execute. And that is sports. Right. At times at the highest level, the guys don't execute and you end up with that. But then we rolled it back. We gave one up late in the game on Saturday.
With 3 minutes, 23 seconds, I think.
We're fortunate enough to come away with 2 points that night. But we need to just tighten up a little bit. I love our guys. I do. I love every guy in that room. They're great. They're great ambassadors for the organization and for the community. And they're really, really nice people. We got to get a little bit more detailed. We got to get a little bit more consistent, and we got to get a little bit meaner. And, I don't mean fighting. That's not what I mean. I mean,
we saw plenty of that on Saturday too.
Yeah. I mean that urgency to really, really compete, because if you watch this weekend, we kept getting better throughout the course of each game.
I think we outshot them in the third period on Saturday. I think 14-8, like 3 or 4 at one point.
We actually had 23 shots on net in the third period.
I just go by what the USHL live stats.
Our analytics has us at 23, and so we got better and stronger each game, which is a good sign. We need to be better right off the hop. We gave up an early goal on Friday and two on Friday and another one on Saturday, and kudos to our guys for being able to dial it in and kind of get ourselves back in those games. But you can point to little instances in each game where we made a mistake. We turned a couple pucks over at the offensive blue line with a minute left in the second period on Thursday. They score a goal, they tie it up. That's a huge goal that ultimately leads to us losing that game. And so little things that we can control that we've seen our team control throughout the course of this year. And that's where we're digging in as a staff, and we're talking to the guys about those details. And, the captains have been productive in regards to the conversations they're having with the team. And so I'm confident and I'm eager to see the team continue to grow. Again, as disappointing maybe as the results are last weekend, we didn't lose the Clark Cup. Nobody won the Clark Cup. Muskegon came in here around this time last year, and we put it on them pretty badly 2 times, and they have the Clark Cup right now. So the stress level, the panic button, certainly not there to say the least. But we recognize that we're not playing the best hockey we can right now, and so we have to control the things that we can control, and then we need to make sure that we're making our own bounces a little bit.
If I may ask, earlier this year when we started with the 6-game losing streak, it also felt like we got a bunch of bounces that didn't go our way, and you talked to me a little bit about you guys having to make your own luck. Is the difference in that team at the beginning of the season to now being the fact that you guys are able to battle back from those bounces not going your way? Do you feel like it's a mentality thing getting stronger as the season goes on?
That has a lot to do with it. The bounces we're not creating right now is some detailed defensively, right? Where we're a little slow to close, or our stick's not in the right spot, or our angles aren't right. And those are things that, we're watching on video, and we're showing the guys, and we're practicing them, and we're getting better. The bounces at the beginning of the year, we had so many guys that had never played junior hockey, never played in the USHL. They didn't know how to respond when things went the wrong way. And so, the confidence is there. I will say that our guys are, they're resilient. Obviously, we go down 2-0 early on Friday after a really hard loss on Thursday. We could have got frustrated. We didn't. We battled our way back. And unfortunately, that, if the game is 6 seconds shorter, we're in overtime, we get another point. But those are the situations that we have to recognize and we have to control.
Yeah. And it was just kind of an odd weekend as well, at least from the press box perspective. In that sense, is it felt like every mistake that you guys made, whether it was a little or it was a big one, ended up in the back of your guys' net. Because you guys, I would argue, for all 3 of those games, were the better team far and away as well.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, we had the puck more, we won more faceoffs, we won more battles, we had more shots on net. We did a lot of things that were, contributing to our process. But it's, you got to finish it. You got to have all the little details, and we just need to tighten that up a little bit. And the guys know it. They're not sitting in the locker room saying, I don't understand why these things are happening. They know. And in the same breath, when we do play really well, if we lose a game, I'm okay with that, because our process is going to lead to a lot more wins than losses. But the process hasn't been complete in the last few games we've played. And so tightening that up, getting a little bit more detailed and a little bit more urgent is going to help a lot.
And we kick off this weekend as well in Fargo, Friday and Saturday. We've actually got 2 watch parties coming up this weekend for our games this Friday and Saturday. Friday at Big Ten Sports Bar and Grill, puck drop at 7:05 p.m. And then Saturday down at the Rail Yard in the outdoor rink. We're going to be up on the Cube on that Saturday against the Force as well. So come down, bring your friends, enjoy some hot beverages, maybe some non-child-like beverages as well. Watch the Stars. It should be fun if you can't make the trip up to Fargo.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool that we have that outdoor rink here. And I'm sure that, how many hundreds of thousands of people in this town probably don't even know that rink is there.
Yeah.
And, it's a very cool experience. And hopefully we get some more winter weather to kind of give it a more realistic feel. But our guys will be down there a few times, spending time and being able to skate and interact with the fans and the folks in the community that want to come out and give it a shot.
Yeah, next Monday, we're back down at the Rail Yard again. We were there yesterday, a great turnout for those of you that came out. It was a very fun time getting to see, in the group that we had yesterday, a lot of the young guys that hadn't, been experienced in junior hockey, but you could tell that they were really enjoying getting a chance to bond with the Stars community and just the community that we have here in Lincoln as well.
Such a big part of junior hockey. These guys are moving away from home. They're living with a local family. You got to jump in with both feet. You got to be a part of the family in the billet home. You've got to be a part of the community. You've got to be a part of the organization and the family dynamic that we create in the locker room. And you've got to rely on other people to be your support system, because mom and dad are they're a long way away. And so, we have to be sensitive to that a little bit, but you grow up quickly when you leave home at that age, and you're pursuing your goals and your dreams, and mom and dad are giving you the opportunity to do it, and so you got to make sure you're giving your best effort every day.
Exactly. I had a hypothetical question for you because I don't know how much hockey you get to watch when you're not working per se. So I don't know how much of NHL games you get to watch, college hockey and the like as well. And this question was posed to me again by my girlfriend yesterday when we were sitting down watching some NHL hockey.
Sure.
If you could take any NHL player that is currently in the league right now and put them on the Lincoln Stars, who would it be?
I mean, the answer is probably Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
But I could make the argument for Nathan McKinnon. I could certainly the biggest need right now would be Makar.
Cale Makar.
You bring in the best defenseman in the world, that would help.
Yeah.
There's so many incredible players in the National Hockey League.
Is it bad that
this
I was
is Macklin Celebrini disrespect? I'm kidding.
He could play in the league right now still, technically.
He actually has eligibility left. So, we know the Celebrini family, and we drafted his brother to play here in Lincoln. So I think Macklin Celebrini is just Crosby 2.0. They're really very similar players. I'll go off the grid, and I'll tell you that if I could have one NHL player to come back right now, it would be Noah Laba.
I legitimately was just about to say, I said I was half expecting you to say Noah Laba when I asked that question.
Well,
too.
the relationship's already there, and he knows the systems.
I listen. There's a bunch of past Lincoln Stars that have found great success in the National Hockey League. The biggest one, you think of guys like David Backes. Shane Pinto was here for a little bit as well in that 2018-19 season. I mean, like, there have been a good amount. Paul Cotter with the New Jersey Devils as well, and Ryan Poehling,
Zach Aston Reese,
Ryan Dzingel, all those guys. So it's just kind of funny. I was like, I think I know who he would pick, but I didn't want to.
I mean, Draisaitl, McKinnon, McDavid. Those guys they're the most dynamic offensive players in the league right now. They're also obviously complete players. They're killing penalties, and they're playing 5-on-5 minutes, and they're captains of their team. Like, who wouldn't want to add a talent like that? But they're playing in the National Hockey League for a reason, and our guys are striving to one day be in the same situation.
And a guy that's off to a good start in his age 20 season in the USHL already with 30 goals this season. We mentioned him a little bit earlier. Alex Pelletier. I thought it was very kind of movie-esque the way that Pelletier's 30th goal this season on Saturday against Tri-City was also Lane Loomer's 30th assist of the season. And I'll go through, I promise, before Friday against Fargo, I'm going to go through and figure out how many assists that Loomer has specifically on Alex Pelletier goals.
Probably almost all of them. I'm so proud of both of those guys, and not just, there's so many guys on the team I'm proud of, but I'm so proud of both of those guys. I've been able to watch their development, and Alex Pelletier went back to Avon for his post-grad year because he wasn't where he wanted to be from a hockey perspective. And, he came back here as a 20-year-old and preached patience and development. And so he had a great summer. His skating improved, his shot improved, his strength improved. And now you're seeing the reward from all of that effort. And, we brought Lane in a couple of years ago in the middle of the year. We were struggling. He came in, he made an impact. He was great for our culture. And then he was a huge piece to our success last year. And now he's one of the guys that's, kind of leading the charge in regards to our success this year. So both of those guys are doing a great job. But, you look at other guys, you look at somebody like John Hirschfeld, who's got 11 goals now this year. He scored a power play goal this weekend. You look at, Brady Cunningham, who's got 3 5-on-5 goals already.
Second on the team among defensemen in plus minus now, too.
He's playing physical. He beat somebody up on Saturday.
That was electric.
You see some other guys that are really taking big strides in their development, and we're excited about that. That's what this level of hockey is about. Is obviously it's a business, and we need to win, and the staff gets held accountable for wins and losses, but more importantly, the development and the growth of the player and the person is such a big part of this whole process. And so, I preach that to the guys, and the biggest thing is taking responsibility for your development. Certainly it's our task as coaches to give you the resources and the opportunity to do it. It's your responsibility to to live it and breathe it and make sure your priorities are in line. And because if you're not, somebody else is.
Yep.
And that's just the reality of it. The pyramid moves up, and at every level you go, it gets harder. And if you want to get paid to play this game at a high level, you got to take it seriously now.
And a kid that was also here a couple of weeks ago, you mentioned development, Caden Donia, named to the NHL Central Scouting midterm list yesterday as well.
Yeah, and it's nice that his name's on there. Whether it's on there or not, I'm sure he's going to get drafted. Slopes' name isn't on there. He's going to get drafted. I mean, Noah Laba's name never ended up on that list. Aiden Thompson's name never ended up on that list. And so I think it's a nod to them continuing to grow and develop. But that list is all about potential.
Yep.
And you see somebody like Caden, who's awesome. He's a great kid, and his game has tremendous upside. He's 6'5", and he's got a long stick and really good feet. And so, they're looking at him and saying, what can he be in 5, 6, 7 years? And, that's where you have to project a lot of those players. And our goal for Caden is to come in here and play a couple years, go on to Quinnipiac, and then eventually play in the National Hockey League. And that's where we're at with him. And he did a really nice job while he was here for a couple weeks. He'll be back again at the end of his season, and he'll spend some more time with us.
Yeah, it should be fun. Rocky, before this first segment ends, we have to talk to you about college football because there's a national championship game on Monday that's coming up, and we're not going to get a chance to talk to you after it's over. Indiana and Miami. How are we feeling about the Hoosiers versus the Hurricanes?
I don't think anybody's stopping Coach Sig and the Hoosiers. I just don't. Watching them just completely dismantle Oregon was unbelievable. And, there's a narrative now that, they have all these 3 and 4 stars and everybody has these 5 stars. But the truth of the matter is those are 3 and 4 stars that were coming out of high school. Now they're 5th year, 6th year seniors that have matriculated into a 5-star caliber player. And the details in his organization and the way they practice, the culture that they've built, and they don't make mistakes. They rarely take penalties. They execute in all situations, and they were the beneficiary of some turnovers, obviously, in that game. Some they created, some, the fumble was a kind of a fluky thing, but they capitalized in all those situations. And, you look back at the Indiana-Ohio State game, and it's a tight game, and, you give up 13 points to that offense that's just running over everybody else. It shows that actually was a tighter game than maybe anybody wants to admit to. But Miami's a good club, and they've got to, listen, how many games has CJ Stroud played in the NFL? I think he's going on his 48th game now. He was in the same recruiting class as Carson Beck. So, Carson Beck should be a good quarterback at this point in time. But Miami's a good team. They've got a good defense. They've got the ability to throw the football. I was actually surprised to see them beat Ole Miss. I thought Ole Miss quarterback was going to get it done. It was a back and forth game, but that Indiana team, I don't know. I don't know how you stop them. I could see 31-17, 31-21.
The line's at 8.5 Indiana right now.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe more. Like, is Indiana only going to score 31? I don't know. I mean, the way they're scoring, they dropped 56 on Oregon last week. The way they're scoring, it could get to a 38-20 game. Maybe it's not. Maybe Miami can slow that offense down. But
it is at their home field.
It is, and that's a massive, obviously, another reason why I think the Bulls should go away. But their running game, they run for almost 200 yards every game, and then Mendoza just steps back there and throws darts all over the field. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's one of those things. Look at who's here. We've got Griffin Brown and AAA coach Curtis Brown. Yeah. Griffin's one of your guests.
Yeah,
tonight.
Yep. They're we've got our Aubrey Brown game coming up next week, so we're having them both on in the second half.
Awesome. Well, that'll be fun.
Yes.
So, needless to say, the Big Ten is going to win their 3rd consecutive national championship.
Eat your heart out, Paul Feinbaum.
And when is Paul moving out of the country? Didn't he say he was going to move out of the country?
I haven't seen his home go up on Zillow yet, so still waiting for that.
Yeah,
Austin's wait. He's keeping refreshing.
Can we talk
page.
about how Missouri is just ranked all year long just so that the SEC teams get credit for beating
them in Tennessee?
Yes, they didn't beat any ranked teams all year long. I don't think
they beat any FBS team with a winning record.
But they get to stay ranked all year long so that they could say, "Oh, look at this juggernaut of the SEC." Like, I listen. Georgia has a good team. Ole Miss had a good team. Alabama was flawed. I think
normal good, if not Bama elite.
Not Bama elite, not even close. And then there's a big drop, in my opinion. And so the Auburns of the world are not competitive right now. Tennessee wasn't competitive.
Vanderbilt just got their brakes blown off by Iowa.
How about he says, well, why would I want to play for? You only got to score 10 points to beat Iowa, and then they lose 34-27 or whatever it was. So, that's the arrogance of the SEC, and that narrative doesn't work anymore. I watched Coach O say, well, now you can hand them the bag of money through the front door instead of the back door. And so you see that with the revenue share and the NIL and the amount of money these players are getting paid, the parity in the country is so much. Raiola just left here to go to Oregon with no guarantee to be the starter. That is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. I assume he got a bag. I assume he got a bag of cash, but maybe he realizes he's probably not going to be a starter in the NFL, and you get your money now. And that's what a lot of these kids are doing. They're recognizing, I might not get the money in the NFL. If I can get a couple $1 million right now, why would I not take it? And it's hard for me to argue with that, but 5 stars that never touched the field as freshmen are walking away with no tape. And nothing to offer, and they want to get paid like they're starters without ever touching the field. It's backwards, and a lot of these kids are getting bad advice, and you're going to see when there's 1,500 kids in the portal, they can't all find a home. And so where are they going to end up? How many guys pull their name out of the portal and beg to go back? How many guys end up playing Division II football somewhere because they just can't find a place to play?
Yeah, it's odd, this bizarro college landscape we live in, as well, with Indiana being a football school and Nebraska being the 8th ranked basketball team in the country.
I've seen some funny memes of Indiana now being obviously one of the top programs in all of college football. And talk about a smart guy. Cignetti puts in his contract, if I have one of the top 3 teams in the country, I get paid one of the top 3 salaries in the country.
Mm-hmm.
That man went from making $120,000 a year at Indiana University of Pennsylvania to now he's going to make like $11 million a year next year at IU. And his coordinators, those guys went from, there's one coordinator was on food stamps, making $23,000 a year. Now he's making $1.7 million. So that's a feel good story for coaches that just stick with it and grind it out and find a way. And, Sig kind of gets overlooked when it comes to the Saban tree there for a while, but now you see what an incredible coach he is. I've got nothing but respect for the way he runs his program.
Yeah, it was a good conversation, Rocky. Thanks for hopping on today. Again, the Stars back in action Friday, Saturday against the Fargo Force. Watch parties here at Big Ten Sports Bar Grill on Friday, then at the downtown rail yard on Saturday. Hope to see you there. Again, Lincoln Stars Hockey will be back after this.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Just got the brakes fixed on my car today.
You did? You haven't even left the office.
I didn't need to. I got a guy who picks up my car and drops it off when it's done.
Well, who's your guy?
Graham Tire. They have pickup and delivery service at all 5 of their Lincoln locations.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
Change begins with you. Join a weight loss medication study at Solarion and earn cash in the process. If you are 19 to 65 years old with excess weight to lose, you may qualify. Participants could earn up to $22,750 for their time. Study includes 1 2-night stay, 1 3-night stay, and 38 returns. Learn more at helpresearch.com/flamingo or call 866-213-2965. Weight loss not guaranteed.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play it against sports at 48th and Vine.
An emergency can happen any moment. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. At CHI Health, we stand ready to care for any emergency. Our specialists provide expert care when you need it most and believe healing is more powerful when delivered with human kindness. When seconds matter, know CHI Health St. Elizabeth is accredited in stroke care and offers the region's only ER just for kids. Learn more at chihealth.com/St. Elizabeth Emergency.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in December, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book your holiday parties at Double Eagle Golf and make plans to join them for a New Year's Eve party. Gift cards make a great stocking stuffer for Christmas, and don't forget to look ahead to 2026 as spring leagues begin in February. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and wow, what a year it was at Koppel. The Koppel family would like to say thank you for a record-setting sales year in 2025. Now let's start 2026 off with the bang. New GMC Sierra pickups starting at $12,500 off list or 0% APR. Also hot off the presses, new Terrain leases at $299 per month. That's right, $299 per month on new GMC Terrain leases. So please stop on in the store or online at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G138852 and G165184. 2,500 down with proof credit.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, for brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Intermission is over. Get back on the ice with Outside the Box on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Alex Ferd.
Outside the Box, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. As always, Alexander Fern here with you. It's the second half of the show. We've got two very special guests coming into this rendition of Outside the Box. We've got current Stars defenseman Griffin Brown here in the red hoodie to my right, and then his father Curtis, who is our AAA head coach with the Lincoln Stars program, as well also as a multi-year NHL veteran down there all the way across the table. Fellas, how are we doing on this Tuesday evening?
Doing good. It's an off day for the Stars, so
Yeah.
I'm just hanging in there. A little rain, so just hanging out.
Yeah, I abdicated responsibility with the AAA team to make this important appearance.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us. And you know what? I'm not going to complain about the rain in January. It's a good day.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the rain as well. So I was talking to Rocky a little bit before you guys hopped on, but next week against the Omaha Lancers, the 24th, we've got our annual Aubrey Brown Club night at the Icebox. The Stars will be wearing special jerseys as well as funding going towards the foundation. Curtis, of course, you being one of the main founders of the program, if you would like to just indulge our audience about what your program is about.
Well, first of all, it's just an incredible opportunity that we get to have these types of fundraisers that get to support our cause. And a lot of the fans, this may be repetitive, and I apologize for that, but the mission is helping families that lose a child. And Griffin wasn't around when we had Aubrey. Aubrey was our third, and we lost her to SIDS. And it's interesting when life throws you curveballs, you have really only two options, and it's either, hit the deck or rise back up. And that week we knew, Amy and I, we knew that God doesn't make mistakes, even though when you're going through any particular storm, you have to look beyond that and beyond yourself. And one of the things that we saw early on was the need for families to get assistance after the loss of a child immediately, not down the road, but it's imperative. It's almost, if you get a wound, you don't get to just watch it heal. Sometimes they need more care, and you have to assess that situation. And because we went through it, little things that people, and I heard about this just recently, and it makes a lot of sense. Every individual only has the strength to get through what they encounter. And it's really hard to identify with people in a particular area when you haven't had to go through it. And I don't wish anybody having to go through a loss of a child, because it's completely opposite of what we humans would expect. Live a long life, do what you do, get married. And obviously we know there's been one person to defeat death so far. That's the on the score sheet. So it's going to happen. But when it happens to kids, it's different. And so that week we'd been faced with an ambulance ride about 6 blocks that also followed up with a $3,500 ambulance ride. You have a funeral that is immediate, and we didn't have medical costs or many other things that people endure. And so we just thought, in memory of our daughter, but maybe also our way to serve anybody that needs it, is because being who we were and in the hockey world for a long time, and not just in the hockey world, but in the sports world, you always watch athletes get involved with very, very good causes. Well, now all of a sudden we were hit right in the top of the head with a cause that we could get behind, that we lived. And it was just practical needs for families. And it started slow, where we wanted to help people right away with their funeral, medical bills, groceries, practical things that they came up with. And that was in 2007. We lost Aubrey in 2005. We kind of got the wheels going in 2007. And we've learned as much as anybody through the process, just listening to families about what their needs are. And nights like what we have coming up are imperative, not just on the financial side, but what we're doing here today is talking about the services that we do provide, because although life goes on, there's always people going through, unfortunately, this situation. And I was talking to Amy just today, and she's like, you wouldn't believe it, but this year alone already, how young it is, we've had 11 families reach out. So throughout the course of a year, we've served in the last decade on average of about 125 families a year. And prior to that, obviously building up, the numbers were lower. So you look at it on two sides. There's always a bad situation is why we're here. But on the flip side, you have to look beyond, and we really believe we're making a difference in marriages and siblings that are trying to go through these things. So whether it's grief counseling or the rest of it, and to have the Stars and Lincoln and the USHO behind it, because our middle son played in Sioux City, and
he's with Denver now.
He's
correct?
with Denver University, and when Garrett was in Sioux City, it was a real life event that happened. He was there. He was an underage, and they had a little program called the Hot Shots, and this is how tight the hockey community is. They invited this youngster out to be a part of the Sioux City Musketeers for a day, and he was to go in for a common, what was to be believed just a common procedure, and he didn't make it out of it, and they lost him. And so that's really where this started in the USHL. They reached out to us right away, knowing what we did, and our group was able to go in and help. And that's where the jersey auction evening started. And Alberto Fernandez, the owner of the Stars, said, well, why aren't we doing that? And I said, we'll do it. So it's a good thing. It's a lot of fun, but at least the people know that's why we're wearing these jerseys. We auction them off at the end of the night, and hopefully they go every year. Hopefully we set new records, because that's what we get to give back to the families.
And then again, next Wednesday as well, we've got a fundraiser happening around the city of Lincoln, but we'll be at the Cornhusker Highway raising canes on January 21st. You'll be there, Curtis. We'll have Comet there with the Lincoln Stars as well. In that sense, you, Amy, and the like from it's all around the city, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. If you mention the Lincoln Stars when you order whatever you order, donation proceeds go to and towards the Aubrey Brown Club. How big is that as a kind of a combo of, with the Stars, with your foundation, and of course with a big brand like Canes is?
Well, it really floored us when you see throughout the years the people that jump on board, because it's really a mission that people want to help with. And so for Raising Canes, it's a huge shout out. Thank you so much. It does a lot of things, obviously awareness, but it helps feed Griffin, who's sitting right here. Like these athletes, the people that age, they love the Raising Canes. And so do I. If I wasn't the age that I'm at, I might eat it 3 or 4 times a day. It's that good. So yeah, come on out. We'll be there. I'm obviously in an unofficial sense, I can guarantee you we're going to try to have other people there representing the team, and Amy and I'll be there as well. And any excuse to have a Raising Canes, come on out, because that's a good thing.
Again, that's January 21st. That's a week from tomorrow. Griffin, I want to ask you, because like Curtis said earlier, you weren't around for when Aubrey, of course, was tragically lost. But when you were born and raised into this, what was kind of the, like, were you raised knowing of the cause of the foundation, or when did you kind of start to understand what everything meant?
So I don't really remember exactly when it was. I do know at some point, probably around when I was 10 or 9, I remember going out to a Target with my mom and my brothers, and we went out shopping, and we just got to go on a big shopping spree, get video games, get toys, Lego sets, like name it, we got it, snacks, like whatever. And then we got to go surprise this family in the parking lot with this big pile of gifts. So I don't know exactly when that was, but that was really the turning point of what I really like when I really figured it out. And I was like, wow, this is a big cause, and we're really helping these families with a lot through these times and stuff like that. So
and as a player for the Stars, you know, it's not very often you get, not necessarily, of course, you being billed as San Jose, California, whenever they say your name during the starting lineups, but you know, you live here in Lincoln with your folks. How big is this for you to be able to play for a team that is kind of not necessarily giving you guys the platform, but is, you know, out there and supporting this great cause?
Well, it's just amazing to see everybody with hats on, me walking in there with a bag of hats to hand out to all the teammates, and see everybody repping the gear. Everyone's asking, hey, where can I get that? Where can I get this? And they're just all trying to give and help out with the cause, and which is really special. See the entire staff and everybody to come together is really cool.
How has that been for you, Curtis? I know with the AAA schedule, you're not around. You know, I know you're not at every other Lincoln Stars game. Most of the time, you're probably listening to my voice whenever you're watching it.
Well, more than you know, yeah. I'm. You carry a lot more weight than you would give yourself credit for. Obviously, not just for me on the road, but for the Stars fans everywhere. You're a big deal.
Appreciate it. I hope I did a little bit of justice for Griff's tilt over there on Saturday against Tri-City.
I saw that. Thank you.
Yeah, and
you touch Pelly, that I gotta defend him. You know, that's how it works.
Well, you did a great job. Thank you.
Yeah, but how has it been?
But by the way, not to cut you off, but this is a sports talk. He had to do his job so you could do yours.
Yeah.
On the flip side, you know,
I get it.
If you're going to get in there and stick your nose in something, you better do a good job for the announcers.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that sounds good.
Hey, and you've been around some great ones in your career. RJ, Rick Jernett becomes the big one, of course, with your time in Buffalo with the Sabres. We're going to go ahead and take a little bit of a break. When we come back, we'll talk more about the Aubrey Brown Club, as well as just some miscellaneous talk, whether that is about the sport of hockey and the like. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Outside the Box.
Just got the brakes fixed on my car today.
You did? You haven't even left the office.
I didn't need to. I got a guy who picks up my car and drops it off when it's done.
Well, who's your guy?
Graham Tire. They have pickup and delivery service at all 5 of their Lincoln locations.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Change begins with you. Join a weight loss medication study at Solarion and earn cash in the process. If you are 19 to 65 years old with excess weight to lose, you may qualify. Participants could earn up to $22,750 for their time. Study includes 1 2-night stay, 1 3-night stay, and 38 returns. Learn more at helpresearch.com/flamingo or call 866-213-2965. Weight loss not guaranteed.
An emergency can happen any moment. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. At CHI Health, we stand ready to care for any emergency. Our specialists provide expert care when you need it most and believe healing is more powerful when delivered with human kindness. When seconds matter, know CHI Health St. Elizabeth is accredited in stroke care and offers the region's only ER just for kids. Learn more at chihealth.com/St. Elizabeth Emergency.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in December, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book your holiday parties at Double Eagle Golf and make plans to join them for a New Year's Eve party. Gift cards make a great stocking stuffer for Christmas, and don't forget to look ahead to 2026 as spring leagues begin in February. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a slight chance of showers this afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see mainly cloudy skies, be breezy and mild, a high near 59. Tonight, a slight chance of rain. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies, a low around 31. And tomorrow, mainly sunny skies return, be breezy and cooler, a high near 35. I'm meteorologist Kyle Collector for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Winter is upon us. Is your home prepared? If your furnace isn't keeping up or you've thought about replacing it, John Henry's has a new year, new unit special. When you purchase a select heating and cooling system from John Henry's, we will give you the furnace for free. There are also equipment and LES rebates up to an additional $850. This offer expires February 28th, so don't miss out. Find out more at jhlincoln.com or give John Henry's a call or text today.
435-5555. It's the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th at the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Come see trophy deer, hunting seminars, hunting and outdoor exhibitors, a 3D archery tournament, enter the blind giveaway, and more. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate, January 16th, 17th, and 18th. Learn more at nebraskadeerandgameexpo.com and find them on Facebook. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th in Lincoln.
Intermission is over. Get back on the ice with Outside the Box on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Alex Ferd.
Final segment, wrapping up Outside the Box, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Happy to be joined by Curtis and Griffin Brown. Curtis, the head coach of our AAA team, and Griffin's dad, in case anybody's wondering, also a multi-year NHL veteran and one of the heads of the Opry Brown Club. I want to ask a little, we don't get to talk about the AAA program a whole lot on this show. I saw that one of your players just signed a tender with the Bismarck Bobcats, though, the North American Hockey League. If you want to tell me a little bit about how all that system works.
No, it's an incredible opportunity here in Lincoln. And when you say Lincoln, youth hockey, everybody knows about Omaha.
Mm-hmm.
And so the natural thing that ownership wanted to do was they have the USHL team here with the Stars. They own the North Iowa Bulls. Well, why not, if we think we can do a decent job of developing and giving these young players a platform, almost a runway within our organization? Because you mentioned, it's great to get players, obviously, an opportunity wherever that opportunity may arise, but even better when it's homegrown.
Mm-hmm.
And like from our first year having Aiden Jans and Griffin and Sam Klein and Aaron Sachs.
Yes.
Like that was so cool for me. Like it's not about me. Unfortunately, I've asked and they just won't let me play anymore. So that's why you go on and coach. And to come alongside these players and give them some insight. I'm a student of the game. Like coaches never arrive. It's like broadcasters, right? You're always trying to learn new things and the game changes too, especially from a coach's standpoint. So you're just trying to stay up on it and give the players the tools that they need to become their best version, that maybe they do get an opportunity. And so that's what we do at the AAA. Some of the coolest things is they get to skate right in the ice box, the same place where the USHL players are. They get to work out in the gym that the guys do. And then they get to come around and quite naturally watch them play and see what it might take to get to that next level. So it's been a blast and we're going to continue to do it. And hopefully we can continue to feed players into our organizations. But you know what? If it's with other clubs, it's a win as well.
Yeah. And correct me, is it Will Harker? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Sorry, I was so excited about pumping Lincoln and what we're doing and really the passion that Will Harker is a player that I've coached probably, I lose track, but 6 years. It was even before our time here in Lincoln. And he came on and he was tendered last year with North Iowa. And the interesting thing is with everything that's changed, the path I think is going to be longer for these players, not only to get to junior, but then college, because the access to so many more players from around the world. And
well, you played in the Western Hockey League as well up in Canada as well. So, I
did. And it was a big decision. So when I was 15, it was, do you want to go college or do you want to go major junior? Because it's really only two paths. And now with the way that things are open, players can keep those options open and go to where the best opportunity is for them. And Will's a player that just keeps getting better. And I think that's one of the things that you look for in an individual when you're trying to project where they might end up. Even in the Stars, like for fans, they'll see a young guy come in. And so long as they continue to develop and grow at that level, that's a great sign that they're probably going to do it at the next level. And so we're super pumped for Will, not only for what he's been able to achieve, but then selfishly around the other players that we have, they get to look right across to their captain and see what he's able to do. And then they can say, well, yeah, he's a good player. What does he do that I need to pick up on so that I can have that opportunity as well?
And, you see that development specifically with your family. You have a kid at Denver. You got a kid that's going to the another NCHC rival school, up and coming Miami University. That's got to be cool for you as a dad to witness.
Well, it's very cool because I love hockey. Now, if my kids would have picked a different sport, like as parents, we all know we would go support them and watch them and do whatever. But for me, I didn't even have to change venues. I just keep going to the hockey rink in a game that I love. So I really got into coaching selfishly because I wanted to be around my kids. And as a professional athlete, you don't have that opportunity. So when I was done, I'm like, I'm going to pour everything into them, however that can happen thereafter. So I got into coaching. I didn't coach them every single year. People might think, you can't. I had 3 boys. So I had to pick and choose favorites each year. Some guys got left behind, but ultimately the message was always the same. Obviously, wake up each day and get better. Try to help them with details that I thought might help them. And to your point, now they've all played major junior. Our oldest Gage is at D3 in Buffalo. Garrett's at Denver, and Griffin's set at some point. We don't know when the time is right, he'll go to Miami. And that's awesome because I get to go watch more great hockey and get to cheer my kids on.
Yeah. And I don't want to push the envelope here, if that makes any sense. So Griffin, you can answer this if you want to, you can't. How cool is it getting to grow up with your dad being in the National Hockey League?
Well, I mean, he was never in the National Hockey League, like when I was born.
Well, right.
But I mean, when I was born,
you could have a sports card with his face on it.
Yeah, exactly. When I was born, seeing all of his cards and seeing all of the
The bubble hockey machine as well that he was talking about earlier.
And all of that. It was always really fun. And then just being able to go around and like, I grew up in the San Jose rink mostly. So going around seeing like Jumbo and like all of those guys all around the rink, like having access to all of that as a little kid was really special. So I grew up loving hockey and I still do. So I remember going around the rink, like collecting as many pucks as possible. That was like the only thing I used to do.
Do you still have them, or are those are they lost to time?
I have a couple cool ones, but no,
Okay.
most of them thrown back.
What's
taken from my dad?
What's the best one you've got right now? Then though,
I don't even know. They're all in boxes right now. We just still have barely need to move out.
Oh,
Still got to get them out.
okay.
I don't even know where they're
It's probably one I signed for him. He's
Oh.
just holding off on us.
Yeah. Okay. Probably.
Yeah, that's you know what, one thing that he did was, and all my kids have done, is like, you're from like last century, so the game was different. Like,
Yeah.
they're all better than I was.
I got for Christmas, my step grandfather gave me a box of unopened 1990 Topps hockey cards.
Wow.
So I'll next time you're at the office, I'll show you them. But
Have
like,
you opened them, or are they still just sitting there?
I've opened, I think, 2 packs.
Now,
gotta
what
keep
out of
them
that
sealed.
series, which is the most valuable?
I'm not sure. I haven't done enough research on it, but I do know I pulled a Richter. I pulled a Dave
Oh,
Richter
yeah.
the other day. So
Okay.
that was a cool thing to have. Before we get out of here, Curtis, I want to give you about 30 seconds to a minute just to again explain what you're about, what we've got coming up at the Icebox, and what we've got coming up at Raising Cane's this week or next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, this is a hockey show. Hockey's the most important thing in our life outside of the next thing we do, and that's our foundation, trying to help families that have lost a child. And we lost Aubrey to SIDS. That's not always how families lose children. And so what we did with the foundation is set it up so when they reach out to us, we ask them what practically we can help with. That's what the Aubrey Brown Club does. The coolest thing is nobody gets paid. We have no salaried employees. So about 95 cents of every dollar goes directly to the families. The only thing that we need to cover is obviously operating expenses and whatnot. But my wife, Amy, picks up every phone. She's the real hero, thrust into these situations and finding solutions for the families. And so that's what the Aubrey Brown Club is. And now the cool part is we've year after year do a night where the Stars wear our jersey. I've designed it. I worked with Corey Courtney from the Stars. So we're excited to not only reveal and unveil that, but the guys will wear them. And then at the end of the 2 games, when they're done using them, we'll auction them off and proceeds will go right to help families. So that's super cool. And then you mentioned Raising Cane's next Wednesday. They've been so generous to offer 15% of all sales at the Cornhusker location if you mention Lincoln Stars on your order. So this is, there's Taco Tuesday, right? Today's Tuesday. So it's Raising Cane's Wednesday.
Yes.
Specifically next Wednesday. Like, don't make a menu at the house. Don't get any groceries. Empty the fridge out and show up at Raising Cane's on Cornhusker. Mention Lincoln Stars so that we get some of the proceeds and we can give them to families.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for hopping on. I hope that we gave you enough of a platform to join us today and talk about all the great stuff that you guys do as a foundation, and of course, Griff, what you've done with the Lincoln Stars so far this season and last as we continue to march towards the playoffs here in 2026. Again, thank you guys for hopping on. We're going to go ahead and sign off for this episode of Outside the Box. Again, our Aubrey Brown Club game next Saturday on the 24th, and then we've got our Raising Cane's fundraiser on January 21st, and then the Stars are back in action again Friday, Saturday against the Force. We've got watch parties both nights, Friday at Big Ten Sports Bar and Grill, Saturday downtown in the Rail Yard, and then we're in action Sunday against Sioux Falls Stampede. Everybody stay safe. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next week here on Outside the Box.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Just got the brakes fixed on my car today.
You did? We haven't even left the office.
I didn't need to. I got a guy who picks up my car and drops it off when it's done.
Well, who's your guy?
Graham Tire. They have pickup and delivery service at all 5 of their Lincoln locations.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
An emergency can happen any moment. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. At CHI Health, we stand ready to care for any emergency. Our specialists provide expert care when you need it most and believe healing is more powerful when delivered with human kindness. When seconds matter, know CHI Health St. Elizabeth is accredited in stroke care and offers the region's only ER just for kids. Learn more at chihealth.com/St. Elizabeth Emergency.
It's the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th at the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Come see trophy deer, hunting seminars, hunting and outdoor exhibitors, a 3D archery tournament, enter the blind giveaway, and more. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate, January 16th, 17th, and 18th. Learn more at NebraskaDeerandGameExpo.com and find them on Facebook. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th in Lincoln.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more. Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your